Picture this. A man in his 40s stands in front of a mirror. He's not happy with what he sees or how he feels, but he says nothing. He pulls on a shirt that's a little tighter than last year. He buttons it up and then goes on about his day. He tells himself he's fine, that he's strong enough, that he's tough enough. He's too busy to worry about that right now. The truth is that he's tired and that he's carrying weight not just on his body but on his shoulders and on his mind. He feels it when he wakes up in the morning, when he climbs the stairs, when he sits in silence and realizes that his chest is still pounding. And he is not alone. This is millions of men, our fathers, our brothers, our husbands. So how can we help the man that you love? How can we help them see what's at stake without pushing him away? And that's what we are talking about today. Team, hello, my name is Bart Walsh. I'm a keynote speaker, I'm a fitness expert, and this is a show based upon all of the questions I get after my keynote speeches. Questions that honestly I don't have enough time to answer in the moment, but deserve some airtime to be fleshed out, and that's what this show is about. It's here to level up your emotional, physical, and mental resilience. And if you are new here, it's great to have you here. If you have seen one of my speeches before, hey, thank you for being engaged, then hopefully you're going to be engaged now. And if you do want to follow along with my story and what's happening outside of this show, follow me on Instagram at walsh.fit, and you'll be able to keep up with everything that I do. You'll be able to add my email list there as well. Now, team, we are here to talk about how we can help the men in this world. So let's open our mind, sit back, and dive in. For generations, men have been sold a very narrow definition of strength. You work hard, you keep it together, you don't complain, and you certainly don't talk about how you feel. That, my friends, is not strength. That is generational conditioning. And the research backs this up. Men are statistically less likely to visit a doctor than women. In Australia, data from the ABS shows that men make up 30% fewer GP visits each year compared to women in the same age group. Studies also show that men often delay treatment until symptoms are severe, and every man out there, I'm sure, to some extent can relate to that. I know I can. And why is this? Partly cultural conditioning, but also partly biology. It's in our body. Testosterone is linked to higher risk-taking behavior and higher tolerance to discomfort. And look, that may have been great when hunting mammoths, but it's terrible for preventing lifestyle diseases in this modern day world. And here's a fact that I learned just a few weeks ago that really blew my mind. Our body, our brain and body as we know it, is identical to as it was 10,000 years ago. The brain size, the potential for the body to adapt, it's the same. The only thing that's different between then and now is the lifestyle and circumstance that we are living in. Our society has developed so fast that we have a biology that's evolved 10,000 years ago, but it's living in a modern day world that there's a mismatch to it. It hasn't evolved to match the amount of sedentary time we have, the amount of screens that we look at. And as a result of that, you've probably heard me talk about this before, the comfort crisis I think we're living in. As a result of that, our biology is crying out. Chronic health is through the roof because there's a mismatch between what our body needs and how we're living our lives. And so it's not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's to say we have a responsibility to do things in our modern day life, our aware modern day life, that will work with our body and not against it. Now let's switch angles for just a minute. I have talked to countless women, wives, girlfriends, partners, and some of them tell me a very similar story. They worry. They notice the changes long before he does, the partner. He's more out of breath, he's getting sick more often, he's not as energetic with the kids. And look, they talk to him about it, they do, sometimes gently, sometimes directly. He nods, maybe even agrees, but then nothing changes, there's no action. And it's not that he doesn't care, it's that he doesn't feel the urgency. And sometimes he hears concern as criticism. So he shuts down. And again, I know there's a few men nodding their head. I am too. And meanwhile, these women are lying back at night thinking if he doesn't change, I might lose him early. And that sounds very morbid, but for a lot of us out there, it's very true. That fear is real, and it's often unspoken until this episode. And so I did a bit of research to understand why. Why do we act this way? Why do men know they need to do something about their health, be it mental and or physical, but still do nothing? They understand they need to do it, but there's no urgency. Why is that? And look, there are a few reasons why this happens, and it's not just stubbornness. And the first reason is risk perception. Men often underestimate health risks unless symptoms are extreme, unless they can see it or they can feel it. It's a mix of biology. Our brains evolved to prioritise short-term survival over long-term planning, and culture, where toughness in the past has been rewarded or seen as the status quo. The second is identity conflict. For some men, seeking help or making a change feels like admitting weakness. It's the I should be able to fix this by myself trap. It's the same reason why we don't ask for directions. So that's a bit of a bit of a thing in the past now with Google Maps and whatever. And the third is reward systems. From a neurological standpoint, men's dopamine systems often light up more for immediate rewards than for long-term health benefits that are harder to visualize. So this is stuff like comfort food, this is stuff like couch time, this is stuff like short-term pleasures. I was also thinking like gambling. You know, there's a reason why the gender ratio of gambling is heavily skewed towards men. And the fourth reason why we might neglect our health as a man is social modelling. If a man grew up around fathers, uncles and mates who ignored their health, it feels normal to do the same. That makes sense. And breaking that pattern has to take conscious effort. And think of this as a generational change. If you want the best for your kids and your kids' kids, your legacy, it can start with you. If you're in a family that has historically neglected their health and you're on the same road too, now is an opportunity for you to change the future fundamentally. This is one of the reasons why, again, I love fitness and I love health so much. Because yeah, we're doing it for ourselves, absolutely, but we're also doing it for our great-great-great-great-great-grandkids. You can change the genetic line that affects them down the track. And hey, if more people can do this in this age, in 2025, fast forward to 2125, and the world is a happier and better place because of the choices that we make. Oh, I love this stuff. Now, men, if you are listening, this is your shot to buck the trend. This is your shot to make generational change. To be the generation that decides being strong doesn't mean hiding your pain. It means taking care of yourself so that you can keep showing up for the people that you love. History remembers the warriors who prepared for battle, not the ones who stumbled into it unarmed. Your health is the battlefield of your lifetime, and you can't outsource it. You can't delegate it. You can't jab yourself with a peptide to make it better. And you can't keep pretending it's fine because it's easier than facing the truth. The best gift you can give your partner, the best gift you can give your kids, your mates, is a version of you that's going to be here for the long haul, not just existing, but thriving. The solution. And this, what I'm about to go through, won't be a silver bullet for everyone out there, but it might be a starting point for you, particularly if you're a wife, a partner, a mother who wants to impact the health of the man in their life. Now, if you are the one trying to help, here is the approach. It's not about nagging, it's not about shaming, and it's not about dropping hints. Those tactics only backfire in due course. It's about connection over correction. Connection over correction. And it's the same if you're a personal trainer. I've got to stop going back to fitness, but it's so true. Connection over correction. I want you to start with a shared vision and not critique. Instead of pointing out what's wrong, ask what he wants. Does he want more energy to play with his kids? Does he want to hike without feeling his knees screaming at him? Or perhaps to look in a mirror and finally feel proud of how he looks and how he feels. And I want you to anchor everything to that. What is their why? What do they want? And then we keep reminding them of that as we go on this journey. Once we start with the shared vision, we then move into making it a team effort. Team, we are humans. We evolved in tribes, and when we're going through challenges, we need to be around each other to pick ourselves back up. No human should go through tough challenges alone. No human should be lonely. No human should go through even mental health issues by themselves. This is a team effort by the family and friends around them. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to invite him into something that you can do together. I want you to cook healthier meals with him, not for him. I want you to go on walks together. Make the gym a shared experience, not a punishment. Make this a team event. And then I want you to respect his autonomy. Respect being the key word here. A lot of men in this world, they simply want to be respected. Respected in their home and respected at work. Look, you can plant seeds, but he has to water them. Give him some space to make his own decisions. The goal is to inspire and not control. So think of the teamwork as a foundation. You built the foundation of better movement, better health, better meals, better mental health, better conversation. And now it's time for him to start branching out on his home. Give him a bit of autonomy and inspire him to do so. This could be, hey, sitting in the back pocket in the reserves team. It could be going bowling with your mates. It's physical, technically. There may be a few beers in there as well, but also good for the mental health, but we can manage that balance. It's about encouraging him to hang around other people that isn't you that will benefit this journey. Then I want you to model the behavior. I want you to show him what consistency looks like by living it yourself. Enthusiasm is contagious, so is resilience, and so is discipline. I've said this many times before, but the hardest people to influence better health habits on are the people that know you, your family and your friends. Why? Because I'm Bart. To mum and dad, I'm Bart. They used to pee his bed when I was 3 years old. The Bart that would shamelessly get up on stage and act characters. I'm just that kid. I'm not some sort of health guy. I'm not put on a pedestal for them. And thus they are the hardest people for me to, not to say my parents are unhealthy, they're very healthy now that I think about it. But the hardest people to influence are the people closest to you. The best way you can influence them is by this, modeling the behavior. You set the example. You lead by example. And I can guarantee you do it long enough, over time, people will come to you saying, how do you do that? How do you have so much energy? How does your skin look so healthy? And when they come to you for that, that's your avenue in, and you can let your behavior be the catalyst for their change too. And finally, I want you to celebrate the small wins. Don't wait for total transformation. Remember, fitness, health, it's not a destination. It's an ongoing process. But I want you to celebrate when he, the husband, the man in your life, takes the first step, the first run, the first healthy breakfast, the first week without soft drinks. Every step counts. Acknowledge it and celebrate it accordingly. And again, if you can make this a family thing, if you can get your kids proud of your husband's efforts, that man will change his life wholesale. I didn't mean for this episode to be such a call out to men's health, but I'm kind of glad it has. So men out there, I want you to hear me. Your health is not a side project. It's a foundation for everything else you want to do in your life. And if the people you love are asking you to take care of yourself, it's not criticism. It's a love letter. Because they just don't want you here tomorrow. They want you here for decades, and they want you here whole, not broken down, worn out, not bitter, and not shameful. So let's buck the trend, gentlemen. Let's make generational change in our health for our future, for the world's future, for your family's future. Let's redefine strength, and let's find health the ultimate act of love for ourselves and for the people that we would do anything for. Hi team, I am fired up after that episode. Thank you for joining me today once again. Again, this is Built Resilient. My name is Bart Walsh. I have a hefty mission to influence people's resilience, their physical resilience, their emotional resilience, and their mental resilience. And the only way I can do that is with your help. So if you haven't already subscribed to the show, Get the algorithm overlords on our side. Hit a like, give a 5-star rating and review if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Share the episode if you see anything on social media, at walsh.fit on Instagram. Give it a like, let me know that you're listening, and let me know that we're on this team together for this generational change. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to choose resilience. Bye.